Flip My Florida Yard is brought to you by the Florida Department of Environmental Protection. Protecting Florida's environment starts with you. What you do in your yard can have an impact on the health of our environment and water resources.
Welcome to Flip My Florida Yard. On today's episode, we're in Orlando, where our homeowners quickly realized that what worked in a Texas landscape doesn't necessarily work in Florida.
We're definitely both transplants.
I think we've accepted that we're in Florida, it's a different climate, and we need to work with the environment that we're in.
On this episode, we go from rockscape to Florida-friendly scape.
Rocks are not Florida friendly.
The Flip crew removes over 3 tons of rock.
We're gonna replace it with turf grass and other Florida friendly plants.
We'll also introduce a few must-have plants for your landscape.
Guess who's gonna love these?
Butterflies, bees,
Hummingbirds.
We ID invasive plants for you to watch out for.
This is how we feel about invasive.
Plus, a pavered patio designed to attract wildlife.
I mean, this really came together, didn't it?
And I get a new toy.
Who knew drilling holes could be so fun?
Look, we're on the home stretch, people.
I still see a lot of dirt.
We're fine. We're gonna be fine.
And then it's the big reveal.
I really was like, whose house is this?
Sit back and watch a young family's downtown Orlando yard be transformed into the yard of their dreams.
Wow.
All this and more on Flip My Florida Yard. We're knocking on doors
So excited.
and flipping yards into beautiful Florida-friendly landscapes, and all in 8 hours.
Is this really happening? Who's ready? Organized chaos.
Experts show us how to use Florida-friendly landscaping principles.
Putting the right plant in the right place.
Water efficiently.
Very low maintenance.
Fertilize appropriately.
All leading up to a dramatic reveal.
The best surprise of our whole life.
We're here in Orlando, the city beautiful, and it's time to flip a yard. You guys ready to flip a yard? Yeah! Let's go meet the homeowners. Hey, hey, hey! Hi. Are you guys ready for this?
So ready.
Yes.
We are the Cox family.
Woo!
We're definitely both transplants to Florida, right? We're not from here at all. And so moving down here was just a bit of an experience in terms of learning. Having to manage your landscape all year round is not something that either of us are really familiar with.
Well, we love this house. We had plans to this is where we'll start a family.
Such a great place to be in. I mean, it feels like a sanctuary to us.
We like the rocks, so very desert vibe, mid-century modern. That is our style. That's what drew us to the house. Let's see if we can find some place to play.
Yeah, we can try.
At first, the rocks were great. There were no weeds. We didn't have to water anything. And then the weeds came through. It really bothered me that we were spraying chemicals to try and kill the weeds. It just became untenable to maintain. And then we learned it's not actually good for the environment. We have a daughter. She's 14 months. Her name is Amaya. Right now, when we take Amaya outside, it's just uneven. The rocks are jagged. It's not safe.
And we're really looking forward to being able to take our daughter Amaya outside to be able to play around in the grass. It'd just be fantastic to be able to do that outside in a really safe and beautiful environment.
The time has come. What's one of the things you're looking forward to?
Oh, I'm just so excited to come back to a Florida-friendly landscape.
Well, that's what we're gonna do today. I wanna introduce you to the men and women who are gonna do this, all right? This is your flip crew. Yeah! Oh, see all these rakes and shovels and saws. As soon as you guys leave, we're gonna put those to work. When you come back, you're gonna have that Florida-friendly landscape, I promise. You guys ready to go?
Yes.
Let's go.
All right, let's go to the car.
It makes me feel like the day before Christmas.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys know where you're going?
Yes.
You're going to DeLeon Springs. You're gonna have an incredible time. We'll see you around 4 o'clock.
Sounds good.
Get on out of here. So we have 8 hours. Ready, set, go. Go, 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 go.
Today for the Cox Family Flip, we're going to be focusing on the Florida-friendly landscaping principles, including reducing stormwater runoff, right plant, right place, and attracting wildlife.
Ruth Ackerman from Lucas Nursery is our flip designer. For over 20 years, Ruth has been incorporating Florida-friendly landscaping principles in her designs.
Have you ever done something like this before?
No, this is an adventure.
First, we remove over 3 tons of rock and will be replacing it with functional turf. This will give the family a safe and soft place to play. We're also trimming and removing some palms and trees to open up the front yard, allowing more sun and visibility for the new landscape.
It's going to just fill in a very lush, beautiful way.
Then, we'll be removing large stepping stones and replacing them with a 10 by 10 concrete paver patio, surrounded by a mix of Florida-friendly and native plants.
It will provide color and butterflies and wild birds.
We'll be reusing the large stepping stones to create a pathway that will wind through the new landscape.
They want to have a front yard that they can use and sit down and wave to the neighbors.
And we'll finish things up with the installation of hundreds of Florida-friendly plants and trees. This will help attract wildlife for the family to enjoy.
It's going to be beautiful, but it's also going to be very low maintenance because they're a busy family. They don't need to be out here trimming. We're going to have beautiful landscape with pine bark mulch on it.
Can we get this done today?
I'm sure we can.
Thank you so much for being
Oh,
here.
my pleasure.
Managing these rocks was, it's just a complete headache.
I asked Orange County Extension Agent Tia Silvasi to explain why rocks are not a good substitute for grass and plants in a landscape.
Well, this is a big issue in Florida-friendly landscaping because rocks are not Florida-friendly in the landscape.
Well, and the misconception is that, oh, if I put a bunch of rocks in my front yard, then I don't have to water them. It's low maintenance.
Rocks are actually kind of high maintenance. After you put them in your landscape, you have to maintain them, pull weeds, maybe spray herbicide. This yard had rocks everywhere. When they're in the landscape beds, they increase the heat and that stresses the plants out, and they provide no ecological benefits like plants do. And then there's nothing living about them. So like mulch, other plants, they're providing organic matter to help feed the soil and help the environment.
You know, when you have rocks laid out like this, I would think that this is a fairly permeable surface.
They are permeable, but they're not as good as plants where these roots are gonna hold the soil.
Is there an application where rocks are okay?
Yeah, rocks are okay in small amounts for pathways or right around the edges of your house, but not for landscape beds, not for your whole front yard. And we're gonna replace it with turf grass and other Florida-friendly plants because all these plants have a lot of benefits. They're gonna reduce erosion, they're gonna help prevent nutrient and stormwater runoff, and they're gonna provide food and habitat for the wildlife.
And this is gonna be so much nicer on little Amaya's feet. Run around the grass. She's got beautiful plants to look at.
It's gonna be a functional turf where they're gonna put the turf grass where they need it, and then the rest of the area is gonna be covered in Florida-friendly plants. Getting kids connected to nature is so important. Little Amaya is gonna have a fabulous time out here seeing all the wildlife.
Soil is the lifeblood of any landscape.
Composting at home can be very rewarding.
Dr. Evan Bean from the University of Florida's Agricultural and Biological Engineering Department shares why maintaining healthy soil is good for both our landscape and Florida's environment.
Soil is a vibrant ecosystem. It may just be sort of what you think of as being what's under our feet, but it is a physical system. There's water constantly moving in and out of it, and it is essentially what determines the quality of our landscape. If our soils are not absorbing water, then the plants aren't going to be able to get that water. There's a variety of ways that soils can be degraded. The most common one that we come across is during the home building process, there's a lot of construction equipment that comes onto the site. This compacts the soil, particularly in that top foot. And when we try and put sod or other landscape plants on that soil and plant it, this can take decades for the soil to recover on its own naturally. So one of the things that a homeowner can do to improve their soils is finding ways to put organic matter, particularly something like compost, onto the top of their soils. Compost is material that's organic in nature and has basically been broken down by microbes to a point where it's no longer actively decaying. When it gets incorporated into soil, It provides nutrients, it improves the water holding capacity of that soil, and it just makes plants just thrive. A lot of gardeners will refer to compost as black gold because of the value that it adds to the productivity of the garden. Adding or incorporating organic matter into soil here in Florida is a valuable part to beginning or maintaining a Florida-friendly landscape.
Well, Edna, thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you for having me.
Edna Kane is a plant lover and has been educating visitors at Lucas Nursery for over 15 years. She tells us all about a few of her favorites being planted today.
Tell me a little bit about Lucas Nursery.
Well, one of the things I love about Lucas Nursery is that it's not only just family owned, but they know Florida plants. If it doesn't grow in Florida, they won't sell it.
Well, look, as somebody who lives right down the road from Lucas, I've been going there my whole life, and it's an event. You go there to get plants, you end up staying looking at the butterflies.
Exactly.
There's all kinds of stuff to see there, very helpful
Correct.
staff. And you've brought some of these plants today. Let's start right here. What do we have?
All right, so one of the plants I absolutely love, not just in your landscape garden, but for pollinator gardens, is Gora.
Okay.
And one of the cool things I like about it is that when butterflies and bees land on it, they bounce in the wind.
Oh, wow.
And it adds really great texture into your landscape.
Drought tolerant?
Extremely drought tolerant, tough as nails, year-round perennial. Very easy to grow.
Easy to grow. Okay. And now what do we have here?
This is Coreopsis, and what most people don't know about Coreopsis is that it's the Florida state wildflower.
I see it on license plates.
It will reseed, but when it does, you throw them on the ground, but it needs light for germination. And also, it means cheerful. So who can be angry around a Coreopsis?
And now, last but not least, what do we have here?
This is actually a new variety of salvia, which is called the Roman red. And guess who's gonna love these?
Butterflies, bees,
Hummingbirds.
hummingbirds.
We do have hummingbirds in Florida.
Well, yeah, because they have that little tube, then they kind of stick their nose down there, right?
They do. Salvias do like a little bit more water than some of the other really drought-tolerant plants, and they do really well with just some light deadheading. Usually when you deadhead, you look at your spent blooms over here, and there's really not much left in this stalk.
Okay.
So if you come down here and pick this off, it's taking its energy out of that spike, and it's putting the energy into these two buds right here, which means that these are gonna sprout up.
And this is just a quick walk through the garden. You can just kind of bend over and just snap these right off.
It is extremely gratifying. Have a rough day, go out there and snap a few heads off.
Do some deadheading. Talk a little bit about the difference to going to like a box store to get your plants versus a nursery.
Well, I like to say when you want a good steak, you go to a good steak restaurant. When you want a really good plant, you come to a local nursery. The nurseries are going to focus on our environment. Box stores can purchase plants from all around the United States, whereas most of your mom and pop stores, they will sell plants that are from Florida.
Well, Edna, thank you so much.
Oh,
and
you're welcome.
We got to get these in the ground. You ready?
Yes, let's
All right,
go.
Let's grab them.
Right plant, right place is the #1 principle of Florida-friendly landscaping. When you choose the right plant for specific site conditions, you can reduce the amount of irrigation, pesticide use, fertilizer, and maintenance.
Invasive plants are a major environmental concern in Florida, and being able to identify them in your landscape is critical.
So take me through some of the ones that we have right here. What's their names?
Yeah, this one on the end here, this is a camphor tree, and even though it smells kind of good, it's not good for the environment. It gets to be a large tree and it makes a lot of berries. Not really much benefit for wildlife.
What else we got?
This one is the cat's claw vine, and they call that because they have these little claws on them. This one climbs up people's fences and trees and again makes lots of seeds, very hard to get rid of.
I mean, this is one of those things that once it gets going, it's hard to stop, right?
Yeah, and then this last one here is a golden rain tree, and this, it gets to be a very large tree and again produces berries that are just gonna sprout all over the place. So we're just replacing them out, switching them out, getting these out of here.
Kind of resetting the yard a little bit, right?
Exactly, out with the old and in with the new.
This is how we feel about invasive. I'm gonna walk it out of here. Okay, while we're here working, let's check in on the Cox family and see how they're doing.
De Leon Springs State Park is best known for its spring. The spring is 72 degrees all year round and has been known as the fountain of youth. Today we're going to take the Cox family on a guided nature walk.
The nature trails are beautiful, the springs are amazing. It really just kind of helps remind you of the importance of taking care of the environment.
Manatees will come up. Sometimes across the dock there, you'll see alligators.
We want to make sure that we're preserving these spaces, not only for ourselves, right, for our children, right? We want to make sure that places like this are here for them.
We got to make our own pancakes at the old Sugar Mill Pancake House. He poured the batter. I just got to sprinkle on the toppings.
There's no way we're going to eat all these things. And everything was really delicious, so it was a great time. Hey there.
Having breakfast, right, Amaya? It was
delicious. It was great.
I'm excited about the reveal.
I just can't wait to see it. I know it's going to look really beautiful. It's definitely going to look better than what we had before.
Fabio Perilla and his crew from Elementar Outdoors is installing the pavers for our wildlife paver patio.
How are we looking here?
Looking good. We're making progress. The guys just finished the preparation. Now we're working the pavers installation.
And this is going to be really a kind of a focal point for the family. They're going to be able to come out here and sit, relax, enjoy all of the wildlife that these plants are going to bring in. These are concrete pavers that are going in.
Right. They are concrete pavers, but they still allow the water to percolate through the space joints, so there is no problem with drainage. Those are 4x8, so they are the most popular one in Florida. They give you nice designs.
What your guys are doing today, is this something that a typical homeowner could do, this type of install?
It's hard work, but if you are up to it, you can go ahead and do it, yes.
Good luck, right?
Yes,
if you want to try
certainly.
it, good luck. When you're on these sites, there's a lot of dust and a lot of dirt. Why are your shoes so shiny?
I like shiny stuff.
I like shiny stuff. What are you going to do? On Flip Day, we're all about efficiency. We planted over 150 plants in the ground in an hour and a half. And here's how we did it. Who knew drilling holes could be so fun, right? I mean, I'm having kind of a good time here. All right, ready? Yep. The suspense is killing me, Matt. I mean, come on. Overseeing our landscape installation today is Flip Foreman Matt Hinkst from Hinkst Landscaping.
This is a compost amendment that we put down for our plants and our sod. We're bringing in the compost because the soil got damaged from the rock.
Rocks can deplete the natural nutrients found in soil. So today, we're putting nutrients back in by adding a layer of compost. This will give the new turf and plants in the Cox family's front yard the nutrients they need to survive. It's 12:30. How you feeling?
We still got a lot of work to do.
Here's a yard maintenance tip from our own Tom Wickman from the Florida Friendly Landscaping Program.
Every gardener needs quality tools, so today I'm going to share with you my 6 favorite gardening tools that I think everyone should have. We'll start first with a round point shovel. It's really the basic tool that you need for digging, planting plants, and working the soil in the landscape. Everyone also has to have a hard rake. The hard rake is going to be used for finishing and really smoothing things out, even spreading mulch. And I think every gardener should have a sharp spade. This is something most gardeners don't have, but it really helps when you're moving plants around in the landscape. A nice sharpened spade will cut through roots very easily and make your life a whole lot easier. If you've got trees, you're going to need a pole saw, so make sure you have one that's quality, one that can extend out and reach the heights that you're going to need to help maintain your trees. And then you've got a limb saw. A limb saw is needed for anything bigger than you can prune with your pruning shears. So anything much bigger than about 1/2 inch in diameter, you're going to want to cut with a limb saw. And every gardener needs a good pair of pruning shears. I like a bypass pruning shear with replaceable blades, and I treat myself to a new blade each and every year. It's like getting a new pair of pruning shears for just the cost of a blade. Very important that you maintain your tools to keep them their best and make sure that they can last as long as possible. Make sure you're cleaning them after each use and brushing them off and maybe giving them a light coating of oil. Inspect the handles. If they have any rough spots on them, if you have a wooden handle, for instance, make sure you're taking some sandpaper and smoothing that out. Make sure you're taking some mineral oil or linseed oil and wiping that on the handle as well. When it comes to storage, I like to use a trash can. It's easy to just prop them up in a corner and it keeps them nice and neat and out of the way. Our tools are really our best friends in the landscape. If you take care of them, they'll make your life so much easier.
2:15.
I feel pretty confident that we're going to finish today on time.
I still see a lot of dirt.
We're fine. I'm not sure Chad is quite as confident as I am.
That can't be right. Can everybody hear me out there? Can I get a hoorah? Mulch and sod, what's the ETA?
We're about 30 minutes out.
I don't like that answer.
Hey, we gotta hurry up. We got this guy with the bullhorn out here.
We're just really looking for sod and mulch. I see the mulch.
The mulch truck is finally here.
I get the first bag every time.
I feel a little better now.
Mulch is like the carpet. It's one of the last things to go in. Good thing about this, we know we're getting close to the end of our flip. Oh, yeah.
In replacement of the rocks, we'll be laying down turf grass, serving as a functional turf area.
Just a few hours ago, this was all rock, and now we're coming back in here with the St. Augustine.
We're doing this for the principle reducing stormwater runoff. And so the rock, when it would rain, some of the water would percolate, but a lot of it would just sheet off into the stormwater. And we have that lake right next door here. So with this turf grass, the roots and the soil is gonna hold that water and it's gonna sink it and recharge our aquifer. This turf grass can be a real benefit to your yard.
Okay, it's 3:45. They're gonna be here in 15 minutes, so.
I know.
Let's go.
All right.
Grab some sod. Here we go.
We spend a lot of time really like looking out this window. Our daughter sits there looking out this window all day, and she's always begging us to take her outside. And so, I think it would just be great for her to actually be able to make that transition from looking to being able to engage with what Florida has to offer, right? That's one of the reasons why we live here.
A major design feature is a pavered patio area that will give Amaya and her family that place to come outside and enjoy nature.
What's gonna bring in that wildlife?
Ruth designed this area beautifully, surrounded with plants that is gonna attract birds, bees, and butterflies.
And what kind of plants do we have out there that are gonna do that?
For the monarch butterfly, we have the native milkweed. For the bees, we have the iorxa, we have the coreopsis and the salvia. And then for the birds, we have the native firebush. We got a bird bath, a bird feeder, so they're just gonna be able to sit here and enjoy the show.
Little Amaya loves to sit at that window, and she's gonna be able to come out here and really kind of interact.
They're gonna be waking up and seeing butterflies flying around in their front yard here.
Imagine a year from now when all this stuff starts to grow and bloom and look real lush.
It's gonna be beautiful.
Where we removed rocks along the driveway, we are adding in turf. This new grass will help reduce stormwater runoff and provide a recreational space for little Amaya to play. Replacing non-functional turf with flower beds is a great way to conserve water. As a personal touch, I found a metal raised garden container and added a custom stencil, creating the perfect incentive for Amaya to join her parents outside. And with a few finishing touches, this yard is ready to be revealed.
This yard is officially flipped. How you guys doing?
So excited.
So how was the state park?
It's fantastic. Very serene place, very calming, it's very peaceful. It's just, we loved it.
And learn how to make pancakes, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Did you get some pancakes? Oh, she did. It's time for the reveal. It's time.
Let's go.
We're ready.
I'm ready.
All right, that's for you, Dad.
All right.
And that's for you, Mom.
All righty.
And we're gonna let Amaya just watch.
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna get glasses on her. And we're walking.
Okay.
Just follow my voice. A few more steps here. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Yes. Are you guys ready?
I am so excited and can't wait to see the family's reaction when they see their new landscape.
When I count to 3, I want you to take off your glasses. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Remove your glasses. Oh my God! That looks so good!
Before, this yard was covered with rocks, invasive plants, overgrown palms and shrubs. 8 hours later, we transformed this front yard into a beautiful, Florida-friendly landscape. We planted over 150 plants and trees, replacing the rocks with flower beds and functional turf, creating the perfect place for Amaya to play. We created a pavered patio complete with wildlife attracting plants, bird feeder, bird bath, and rocking chairs to sit back and take it all in.
This is incredible. There's no way I could have done this ever in a million years. This is fantastic. Yeah, when I took my glasses off, I really was like, whose house is this? This is not our house. Not only was it done in such a short period of time, right? But it's done well, immaculately. Amaya's garden. Amaya, you got a garden! Ah, yeah!
When I saw Amaya's garden, I just felt like a ting in my heart.
We both like growing food, like growing different things. And so we can really get her engaged in doing that in a meaningful way.
Got lettuce. We've got some sweet basil.
Your yard was recognized as a silver Florida-friendly landscape.
We're really looking forward to learning about the different plants we have here, how to maintain them, and how they're great for our environment. We're excited that we're going to be able to sit out here and kind of see the butterflies and the birds and other wildlife outside, up close and in person, instead of looking at it through the window.
This is exactly what we imagined, just sitting out here enjoying the time outside. This is gonna be great. When I think about our daughter and other people that are growing up now, what's the world gonna be like for them? And so Florida friendly seems like the best way to go.
Thank you for flipping our Florida yard. Woo!
Oh, what a fun flip. And I love how the Cox family is embracing the Florida-friendly landscaping lifestyle. Look, if you're new to Florida and you have questions about your landscape or just don't know where to start, I encourage you to reach out to your local IFAS Extension agent. Well, that's our show. We hope you're inspired to help Florida's environment by starting in your own yard. And remember, everybody doing a little, well, that's a whole lot.
We've really been able to enjoy our front yard. We've seen a lot more wildlife and an increase in pollinators.
To Chad and everybody who worked really hard, all the crew, y'all did an excellent job. It's a beautiful landscape. We really couldn't imagine it, and everybody's super excited. They love it when they come up and see it.
Flip My Florida Yard is brought to you by the Florida Department of Environmental Protection. Protecting Florida's environment starts with you. What you do in your yard can have an impact on the health of our environment and water resources.